Good morning, everyone. I thought I'd come today and give you guys a garden tour. This is my little garden area. I do container gardening, and so I'll just show you around. Used to be a chicken coop. All right, there's my potatoes, and they're starting to die off, so I guess that means that they'll be ready to dig up pretty soon. I've never grown potatoes before, but they say they're easy. And they're right by the coop. And then right over here we have loofah. I'm very excited because I've never grown loofah before. Now if it just produces, I'll be thrilled out of my gourd. Anyway, so we come in here, and this is my, I guess, potting shed. Probably need to straighten it up, but just using leftovers, nicks and knacks that I don't have a use for anymore. This sink thing used to be what we used to bathe the dogs when we lived in South Texas, but now we have a built-in dog shower, bath, whatever you want to call it, in our house. And I've just used old shelf units and stuff. Anyway, back to that. I plugged the hole, and that's where I mix up my potting mix. So it's so easy to use it now. And then this was our old dining room table. It was cruddy, and I always kept it covered, but then we had the opportunity to buy another used one that's a lot nicer. So we brought that one in here, and it's a big table. It's a good six or 7 feet long. Anyway, it gives me plenty of room. And I'm going to start a worm bin, and I'm going to put it over there. That's the plan anyway. So then when we come out here, this is my garden. And as you can see, it's partially shaded part of the day. And gardens are always, well, not always, but a lot of times kind of messy looking, because us gardeners collect things and use this and that and the other. Anyway, I use several different techniques for growing and starting my vegetables. And I tried something new this year, which is called winter sowing. And you use containers with lids, and you plant your seeds in there about end of February, 1st of March. And then you just put them outside. I had them all stacked down here. That fence wasn't there, but I had a ton of them stacked down there. And I started my seeds, and first time ever I was able to start tomatoes, and they look great. And they're sturdy. And I did buy a few because I wasn't sure how my tomatoes were going to work out. But my tomatoes that I started, believe it or not, are better and more hardy and growing faster than the starts I bought. Anyway, there's a pepper, and those are all tomatoes. This one's cherry tomatoes. You can see got some little tomatoes coming on. That's always exciting. There's a zucchini. I'll come back around this way. Hope I don't make you sick. That's a tomato. And these carrots looked great until I transplanted them, but now but something came in and ate all the leaves off. But they look like they're coming back. And then last year, or maybe it was the year before, my sister gave me some hen and chicks. And I planted some there and some here. And then look what this one has done. I've never seen hen and chicks bloom before. Have you? Is that normal? She's grown them for years, and she's never seen anything like it. Anyway, here's my purple basil, my regular basil, another basil. Down at the bottom we have lettuce, another kind of lettuce, and pak choi. Then as we go along, we have zucchini, yellow squash, tomatoes. This is my first garden video, so if I do it wrong, hopefully I'll learn from this. This is a cucumber. I don't have anything going in this. Okay, all of these with the pipes sticking out are the wicking bed type or wicking bucket type. And I learned that from Leon Sloan. Got some blooms. That's always so exciting. With the wicking buckets, it seems like I only have to water perhaps once a week. The little buckets, these smaller ones, they seem like they take maybe a little sooner. I wrote it down this time so I can kind of remember. Anyway, more tomatoes, and the regular big tomatoes are mixed in with the cherry tomatoes. And then there's a beautiful cucumber plant. And these are some that I did start, but boy, they sure look kind of sad and sick, don't they? I'm not sure what's going on with them. But then another method of planting that I'm using is I learned from Robbie and Gary gardening in Southern California, and she calls it her chair garden. She uses these lawn chairs and these $5 18-gallon totes that you can get at Walmart, and that's what she gardens in. And then she puts a bucket down at the bottom. These are the only holes that are in the container, and then when it gets filled up, I mean, if there's too much water, there's always a little bit of a reserve. But if there's too much water, then it drains down in here, and then she puts it right back in top. But these are 2 bins that I just started today. And in the bottom are wood chips. We had a tree service come and dump wood chips 2 years ago. And we've been stirring those around, but they're not very much composted yet. But anyway, you're supposed to put branches, limbs, whatever, and stuff in the bottom. Stuff that's harder, that isn't going to compost as quickly. Then you put a layer of scraps. You can put weeds, you can put extra leaves, whatever from your garden that you pull up or they fall off of your plants or your pruning or whatever. And that's the next layer. And then she tops it with soil, and she only gets it to about 4 to 6 inches deep, you know, from the top, and then she plants. And that way she doesn't use that much bottom soil, and she actually uses some native soil too. But ours is super sandy, and so I haven't really tried putting that in there. But anyway, continuing on, we go down the middle and we have peppers. This is another wicking bucket. This was made by a friend of mine, and he didn't really like it, so he gave them to me, and I love it. Look at how nicely those peppers are doing. And then we have some giant jalapenos that I saved from a big jalapeno I bought. So I don't know if it's going to grow true or not, but it looks like my sweet peppers died. More tomatoes. These are the ones I started, and then these I bought. I guess those are green peppers. That's what the little sign says. So here I thought they were tomatoes, but they sure don't look good. Anyway, and then here's another basil in the front and pepper in the back, and they're both purple, so that's kind of cool. And then over here, what do we got? I think that's a pepper. Anyway, that's my garden tour for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up so I know you watched it and that you liked it. I'm not monetized, so It doesn't give me any money or anything like that, but it just tells me that you enjoyed it, that you watched it, and I appreciate comments. And I never think to say these things, but anyway, I appreciate you. I do this for these videos for fun, and also so my grandkids who don't live by me can see what Grandma's up to, what's happening on the farm, and that's why I do them. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.